Cancer, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. As usual, you can click right on that description box below, and it will talk about the significance of the spread. Woo! Ooh, what's flipping around here? As well as the placement of each card. All right, here's your little flippy cards. Okay. So Cancer, you have a sense of disappointment in something, and it has to do with some sort of appraisal, some sort of you created something, okay? And it required somebody else to look it over. And whilst they were looking it over, there was a sense of disappointment that happened. It's almost like doing your best spell checking 10 seconds after you hit send on your email. Something like that. You are noticing the flaws in something that you created. And as somebody else is looking it over, you're hyper focusing on the flaws that they may not even see. So you don't know yet. You don't know if they see the flaws that you now know exist in what it is that you created. So there's this overwhelming sense of disappointment, like, oh, I can't believe I did that, and now it's too late. They're going to see it, they're going to know, they're going to whatever. And this is actually taking away from your happiness, from your joy, from your sense of accomplishment. It almost feels to me like you put together this big project, right? And 90% of the project is good, but this one little piece didn't fit right, and you're hyper focusing on what isn't perfect, but you aren't looking at all the other stuff that's really freaking good. So you don't have a strategy yet on how to fix the situation. You just know that your plan, your proposal, your offer, whatever it is slightly flawed. And it's in the process of being appraised. So you're like, well, what can I do if it's already like that and it's being looked over? You're trying to let it go. You want to let it go, but there's still this lingering feeling there. Yep. There's a sense of lack. So you go from the Four of Pentacles in the inverse, like that white knuckling holding on to something, to recognizing that it's going to slip through your fingers. It's almost like you're holding on to sand. Like you're holding on so tightly to sand, it's just emptying out through your fingers. And you're just like, ugh. And again, you don't feel like you can fix it. And it takes away from your happiness. That's interesting. I've never had the death card show up next to the death card in the inverse show up next to the Empress. So again, the threes are about creation. They're about expansion. Okay. So you were hoping to create, you were hoping to expand, but you feel like you're stuck and you can't transition. There's something blocking your expansion. And what you brought to the table, you feel it wasn't your best work. And that's a very disappointing feeling to you. Honestly, Cancer, it feels like you let yourself down. Doesn't feel like you let the team down, the group down, the other person down. Because they're still looking at the situation. But it feels like you let yourself down. Ooh, yeah, see? You're being way too hard on yourself. You are devastated. I mean, this hurts deep inside. And you kind of feel like there's no hope to fix that one flaw. Cancer, I think you're hyper focusing on a small portion of something that may not be quote unquote perfect. Whereas there's this whole other project proposal or offer that most of it's really damn good. Chances are you can bring it back to the drawing board and fix that one thing. But right now, you are hyper focusing on that one little flaw in what could be a masterpiece. To which I would say, you don't even know it's a flaw yet. Because all of this is a prison in your head of your own making until you actually get the feedback after the appraisal. So chillax, breathe, and if you need to start working on a plan B, work on a plan B, that's fine. But you might just find if this one thing and this one thing doesn't fit, that the person who comes back with the appraisal, you can always ask them for a suggestion on how to make that one thing work. And humbling yourself by admitting this is what's there and this is the one piece that isn't working could get you the type of buy-in that you need to build the trust that you want. Cancer, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next time.